everyone, welcome or welcome back. My name is Starr and I'm a light renegade, part of a collective of Pleiadian beings bringing you information from beyond the veil. Hi everyone, I really wasn't expecting to do a video today, but I just felt really cool to be here. I feel like there's been a massive push from the Galactics to come forward today and to just be sharing kind of how I'm feeling at the moment, what I think is happening, and how I think difficult things are right now for many of you, for those that are just waking up, because I think there's going to be a lot of people that are just waking up to the truth of everything of this world. And you know, I've very much been an open book with this whole situation that I seem to find myself in, and that's what I want to talk about today, and just how much I wasn't in this realm, how much everything is just is like literally snowballed into my life, and I just couldn't ignore it. But I think what's really spurred me on over the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of energy upgrades coming in, and you know, I went through this time last summer. There was a lot of solar flare energy that was really quite crippling to me. And I was receiving a lot of energetic upgrades, but to the point where I was completely taken out, where I couldn't even bear to be outside in the daylight. I had sunglasses on inside and all of those strange sorts of ascension symptoms that come along with this journey. But there was just this real... I just felt so disconnected from life, and I think that's where some of you might find yourselves right now, and that's exactly how I feel at the moment. I feel like I'm in such a juxtaposition, you know, I'm being called to be here, to be sharing all spaces with you all, but at the same time I'm just having so much energy come in that I don't feel connected to, you know, this earth and this world anymore. It's like I feel so galactic, I can't even explain it to you. And you know, going into spaces, making timeline adjustments, and going into my conscious mind a lot more, and all of those conscious aspects that just aren't relevant to how society wants us to live anymore. I couldn't feel any less a part of this world, and I think a lot of you find yourselves there now, and you know, it's terrifying. I was absolutely terrified going into this journey. I didn't feel like I called it in. I don't feel like I was expecting everything to happen quite the way that it does. And I will tag my ET experiences video in there, and also my karmic connections video, because then you'll get a little bit of an insight of all the things that I've gone through, and just how crazy this ride has been, and just how out of the ordinary. And I think a lot of you are experiencing that right now. I think some of you have hit that wall where you are just coming to a time of crazy synchronicities, and I'm seeing this in my personal spaces, and people that aren't so tapped into these realms, I'm hearing things from them where they're like, you know, this weird thing happened to me, or people are messaging me being like, oh, this thing happened to me, I felt like I should tell you. And you know, that's my calling coming into fruition. That's me knowing that I was having to step forward and be this person to catch all of those other people that are going to be on a similar journey that I went through, where everything came just out of the blue. I started to see angel numbers, and I was being bombarded for about a year. And you know, I started telling people, those that I was working with, and they were like, this is something, this is quite crazy. They were like, this doesn't happen to everyone. And I was like, right? Like, am I just making this up? And then I would tell my synchronicities to people, and they were like, something's definitely happening. But for my whole life, something has been calling me. And I think it was about 6 years ago, and I only remembered this a few months ago, that I found myself at a spiritualist church. And a lot of you that already watch the channel, but for those that don't, I went to Catholic school. I didn't get confirmed or anything like that, but it was just a great school for my area. So I ended up going to Catholic school, even though only half of my side is a very heavily Christian family, and the other side are just spiritual, I guess. But spirituality wasn't really, you know, relevant in my home space. It was at school. Obviously, I got taught hymns and did prayers and all of those things, but I didn't even know there were schools that didn't have that. You know, when I was so young, I thought that was just how it was. I went to a Catholic primary school and secondary school, so that was just the norm for me. So I didn't realize that people didn't pray every day. And, you know, I felt a strong resonance with that. I always felt like there was something out there. I didn't know exactly what it was, but I felt that there was something. And yeah, about 6 years ago, I felt like the universe was just trying to speak to me. And at that time, I had no idea what synchronicities were, or, you know, what other realms were. And I just felt like something's trying to speak to me. And I found myself just going to the spiritualist church one day, and I think it was actually to do an astral chart reading. And I remember sitting there and just feeling really out of place, and saying to the woman, you know, I haven't stepped foot in a church in a really long time, and I don't know why I'm here, but something has called me here today. And, you know, she very graciously just said, you made it here, and whatever you are needing to find, you will stumble across it, and it will keep speaking to you, and it will find you. And then nothing happened from that. Nothing really happened in my life. I decided to take a bit of a turn in my life, and I ended some relationships at that time, and I was feeling this pressure cooker of lots of energy, but then nothing happened for a good few years. It was 6 years in between that before other things started to happen. So there's been these moments in my life incrementally that I've been having these mini awakenings, as I like to call them, and I think some of you have already been experiencing those things, but you're not quite sure what that is. And I just felt like mass confusion. I felt like I could just feel like there was more around me, and I didn't know how else to explain it. I just felt like the universe is trying to speak to me, and people would be like, what do you mean by that? And I'd be like, I don't know. I just feel like something is trying to speak to me. And that was all I kept on saying for so many years. And thankfully I found myself in some really amazing spaces with people that would just accept me and, hear me out and say, look, we don't think you're crazy, but we don't understand what you're saying. And it's so funny to me now, because those people are coming back around in my life, and, they are in a space of where I was and being like, hey, I think that you might be able to help me now, or I think that you need to hear this because this is something that's happened in my journey. So listen to yourself. If you find yourself here for the first time and you're not sure why, it's because you are supposed to be here. And there are so many people that I'm speaking to of late that I know, and these people are from all over the world, and I just know that I know them, and I know that it's been my calling to be this person here, to be that stepping stone for them in their journey. So please listen to yourself and trust your timings and trust your knowing, and trust that even if you know nothing about all of these realms, but you just find yourself here, that you are supposed to be here, and your path will become clearer to you. But I think the main thing I want to share today is that there is no going back. It's like the whole entire earth is moving in our direction, and this is going to be slowly but surely. But if you find yourself here now, you are ready. You are ready to be moving forward. You are ready to be taking your path that you chose to take. And this is something that I've been really struggling with of late, and I'll be honest with you, I always said that I would be total transparency over here, but I've really been feeling a strong resistance to me knowing what I'm supposed to be doing right now, and knowing that I'm really going to have to step up and be a pillar for a lot of people. That's what it feels like. And our team, the Galactic sorry, there's a lot of energy. Our team with the Galactic Alliance, came through to speak to all of us Light Renegades the other day to be like, buckle up and be ready, because a lot is coming. And I think I've just gone into a state of shock, to be honest with you, everyone. And I've had so much new energy come in, but I'm seeing so crystal clearly, to the point where I feel uncomfortable because I see and know everything. That's what it feels like. I feel like I see and know everything. The most amount of clearly that I've ever seen in my whole entire life. And that does feel disarming, that does feel disorientating, that does feel, you feel very out of place. And I think that's where some of you are feeling. You feel uncomfortable in your spaces. You feel like you're not resonating with the same people as you used to. You're feeling like you don't know what your life was meant to look like, and you don't want to do any of the things that you used to do. And believe me, I've been there, and it's been slowly but surely that I've started to build a new life, a new path. And I had no idea that it would take me to here, and making this community and meeting my Starr family. All of us are from very different parts of the world. Anna Maria was in Canada at the time, and Cabello in South Africa, and we found each other, and we were told that we are family. And my life just hasn't been the same, and I couldn't be more grateful. But at the same time, of course, it's terrifying. This is not something that I've experienced this lifetime before, and every day things just get wilder and wilder by the day. But I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and I think a lot of you know in your heart this is where you're supposed to be too. And this is very much a personal call out too, because I know there's a lot of people that I know in my personal spaces have been taking an interest in what I'm doing, and this is my call out to you. This is my call to you to say that yes, I know you. There's many of you that I know you already, and you're just waking up to the fact that I know you. So do reach out to me, whatever's happened in our timelines together, what's ever happened, in our personal spaces, I'm ready to be working with you on a professional level, or however you want that to be. I'm a friend to everyone, and I really don't bite. So this is something that I wanted to share with everyone, because I know it can be quite nerve-wracking reaching out to someone for the first time that you don't know, but I promise you I'm a ball of joy, I'm a ball of love, and I hold nothing but open arms to everyone that might find themselves here. And I will share this again, no matter what you've done. And all of us Light Renegades have lived some real dark lifetimes, and a lot of you here know that we've been working with the Anunnaki and the Reptilian Order, and a lot to do with a lot of negative entities and energies. And yeah, we've experienced it all. And you know, I'm in some quite tricky spaces at the moment, battling a lot of negative energy, so I've seen it all. And you know, I've lived a very eclectic life, I like to say, and I've seen some very dark sides of the world. And you know, I've put myself in very dark situations, and you know, I've struggled with substance abuse and, you know, self-harm, and really struggled with eating disorders for a real long time of my life. So I'm not, you know, I'm not as angelic as they come, but I very much know that I am, you know, I am a seraphim, I am an earth angel, and I came here to do all of this. And there's a space for you here, is what I want to say. But I think most importantly, just know that you can't turn back. And I know that that feels terrifying. And that's where, you know, I found myself of late. I've just been thinking, can I do this? Can I really do this? Is this what I signed up for? Because my life just did not look like this 3 years ago. And like I've said, it's been a long journey of many awakenings. And something that I was reminded of the other day was that, you know, I used to get messages and on the stickers of apples. So when I was really young, it would be like the apple sticker was speaking to me. It would say a word, or it would have something that would show up in my life. And the other day it was 2 ladybirds. And always in my mind, I've always had, why are there red and yellow ladybirds? And I was literally thinking this the other day, and I was laughing to myself, remembering thinking that as a child. And then, you know, I had some fruit from a market that I get, and on the apple sticker there was a red ladybird and a yellow ladybird, and I've never seen this sticker before. And I thought, oh my gosh, that used to happen all the time. And there'll be certain things on the fruit stickers, and I'd look at it and I'd just be like, I feel like that's saying something to me. I feel like that's meant for me. And you know, I didn't ever share this. I was really young at the time when I remember these things happening, and I thought, that's just for me. And I think a lot of you have found yourself in those spaces too, where you just know that something it's been put in your path for a reason. It's screaming to you, it's shouting to you. Something is trying to communicate with you, and you know, it's the universe, it's your spirit guides, it's your galactic teams, all of them. It's your angels, it's your, you know, your deities, your Christ, your Jesuses. Like, they are speaking to you because you are supposed to be awake this lifetime. This is a lifetime where everyone comes awake. This is a lifetime where all of us come into our true essence and our true power of how, you know, spiritually endowed we all are, how magnificent we all are, and how we are made of a crystalline body. And that's what we are trying to achieve here. So I feel like this is a chaotic message, but I think it's supposed to come through that way. So you can see, you know, every day I battle to be here. And this is something that I've been sharing in a lot of my personal spaces, and reconnecting with old people and friends and connections, and sort of saying, you know, like, what's happened, like, what's going on in your life, like, what has been going on. And I just say to them, you know, every day just gets wilder by the day, but I know in my heart that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And if I wasn't here doing this, I know that a lot of people are going to miss out on a stepping stone and them moving forward in their journey. And, you know, connecting with a lot more of you over the past couple of weeks, it's been made abundantly clear to me that, you know, that was written on our timeline. I was supposed to be connecting to you. So if you feel like you know me, if you feel like you know us Light Renegades, you know, if you feel drawn to our channel, just reach out to us, and, you know, we will find the best way to be able to be connecting with you, whatever that looks like for you. We will help you on your journey. And no matter how big, small, you know, crazy your story sounds, no matter how outlandish anything seems, you know, I promise you, you cannot shock us, you cannot scare us, and we are so here for you. And that being said, we are coming so close to the website being ready, everyone, and something that we wanted to bring forward, and this was definitely something that Anna Maria really pushed for, and I'm so glad that she did. And she brought forward the idea of having Starseed stories. So we want you to be writing in to us if you want us to share your story. This can be anonymous, this can be, you know, your life story, this can be just an insert of a situation that you had happen that's a connection to the divine or to galactic teams, something that you want to bring forward for those that might find themselves with us here for the first time, might find our website and, you know, just need that validation of that you're not alone. Because I think so many things happen along this journey, along our lives, and we think that's just too crazy to tell people. And, you know, I was very much kicked out of the door and forced to share everything that's happened to me on this journey. And you can go back, you can see it. If you see this first video here, go back and start at the beginning. You can see where I started from on my Instagram. This is probably about a year ago when I started to share. And this is before all the galactic teams fully came in, so I was just connecting to spirit, and I share a lot of synchronicities that were happening in my life. And yeah, you get to hear when the Galactic Federation came in for me, and when I got told I was a Pleiadian, when I got told, I had a son called Neo that was still in the Pleiades, all of those types of things. And you can see my journey from the beginning, and just how terrified I was, and just how much I wasn't this person. So you can witness me from the very beginning and growing into what I am now, and I very much feel like a different being every single day, and I feel ever more powerful. And I think that is also something that's quite scary. I feel like I have the strength and I don't know how to explain it. Sometimes I feel like I could run through buildings, is what I like to describe to the other light renegades some days. And we have those group calls where we connect in with each other, and it's very much a how are you feeling today, and so much happens, so much energetically happens with us, and I've been feeling such expanse in my body, but it feels so restrictive because I'm still in this 3D density. So know that if you're feeling just strange symptoms at this time, please do reach out to us. Reiki is amazing for that. I'm a Reiki master, and I'm so glad that I found that early on in my journey, because I know that that's really helped me to be able to recalibrate my energy and to help me feel less out of sorts with all of this new energy coming in. So if you would like help, just discussing energies, what that feels like, what that might be like, we're here for it all, everyone, and we're very much just an open book. And I always, we always said that we wanted to come forward with authenticity and as much honesty as we can. And yeah, this is me just calling to those that might find themselves here and not know why, but you are supposed to be here. If you are here, you are supposed to be here. And if you found any of our videos just randomly, you are supposed to be here. We know you. We were supposed to connect. So please don't have any fear coming forward. And yeah, I will reiterate, I do not bite. But just listen to your soul, because that's what's guiding you forward, and that feels terrifying too. And some days I still feel terrified. I have all the support in the world, but this isn't something that we are taught. This is not something that we have been trained to do this lifetime. And we are learning. I'm definitely learning backwards. I know this isn't my first lifetime where I've come to this level of expansion, and I've moved forward in my life. I know this is not my first time doing this, and I speak to my higher selves, the parallel timelines, and I can see it all, and I'm so very grateful. But sometimes it does feel overwhelming, and that is okay. And if you're feeling in that space at the moment, it's okay, and take all the time that you need, but also know that there is no turning back. This is what it is from now on. It's all change. It's all moving forward. It's all progress, and it's all expansion. But there is so much fun. There is so much love to be had. And, I'm very excited to be extending our tribe and meeting more of you on your journey, and what that eventually seems to be. What eventually that is going to look like for all of us, because I think there is a lot happening that is pushing us towards being in community together, and that is definitely something as Light Renegades have been given as a message. So I'm looking forward to that expanse. I'm looking forward to meeting our soul tribe, and yeah, this is very much a mission for us as it is for you, and we're so here for you, and we just want to support in any way that we can. And I know that we are ready for this. I know that I am truly ready for this, even though I do have the jitters about it sometimes, although it does feel so crazy sometimes, and especially to those that are just waking up. I know a lot of this realm seems just out of this world, and you think, how can this be true? And that is exactly where I was, and every day I'm just absolutely amazed by everything, and I couldn't be more grateful. And at the same time, this is something that I've been asking for my entire life. I remember being so young and connecting with things that I wasn't sure what they were, and just being like, this can't be it, this can't be all life is. And I just wanted to play and connect into magical things all the time. I was always off my own little world. I'm an only child, so I spent a lot of time with myself, and looking back now, I see a lot of elementals and teams that were definitely with me at the time, but I had no idea that wasn't the norm. And slowly but surely life takes its toll, and you get told to stop playing, you get told to stop living in la la land. And all these years later I find myself here, and I'm like, no, all of these things are real. Dragons are real, fairies are real, spirits are real, spirit animals are real. Everything is talking to me, and that is very much how I felt from being so young. And I couldn't be more grateful to be back in that energy, in my full consciousness, and with my wisdom now too, but also having so much fun. These realms are so fun. Connecting with galactics is so fun, and yes, we do a lot of work. We do a lot of, intense work. There's a lot of sadness that comes forward with, what is actually happening in this world, and how tragic it's all been, and how many lives have been lost, and how many lives are still being tried to be stomped out with the way that they are telling us to live. And I've just had enough of it, and I see it everywhere. I see so clearly. I just think, this is not my world. This is not the world that I want to be living in. And I think a lot of you feel that too. And that's why you're here, because you're supposed to be checking out of the old paradigm. We are not supposed to be living restricted. We are not supposed to be worrying about money. We are not supposed to be worrying about, where we're going to get our energy from. It is all free. Mother Gaia is here to give us everything for free. And that's how we want to be living moving forward. So if that sounds like something you want to be a part of, reach out to us. If you are struggling in your journey, wherever you find yourself in your journey, reach out to us. And, there's a lot of things that kind of cross-referencing this. I struggled with my mental health for a really long time, and it was because I was trying to battle with a world that didn't make sense to me, and it got very confusing. That's where the substance abuse came. That's where the restricting of a lot of things to try and make myself be something that I inherently wasn't. And that made me sick, that made me sad, that made me depressed, that made me just not want to be here anymore. And we want to help those that are feeling that way, to bring you back into the light, and to remind you that everything is possible, that magic is real, and you deserve to be happy. This world is not built to allow you to be content and to be happy, so you have to create your own, and you're well within your right to do that. And this is what we want to instill in you, is your true power, is your true sovereignty, and to be telling you, you can live exactly how you want to live. And following this path of the light will get you there. We promise you, and we will support you in any way that we can. But I think that's enough for my little rant today. But so much love from me. And yeah, some really exciting things to be bringing forward by the end of this week, everyone. Especially Friday's message. I'm going to bring someone new forward. They are ready to speak. They've been with me for some time, actually, as a spirit guide. And yeah, I wasn't sure when this was going to come to fruition, but it's now. So yeah, buckle up, everyone. We're in the next phase of this journey, and I know that it's going to be a lot of information coming through for us. That is just going to be so needed at this time, and I couldn't be more grateful. But thank you again, everyone. And if you would like to send in your stories, do reach out to us. If you would like to be part of our healing circles, do reach out to us. If you would like to be connecting with us in any way, shape or form, just to be connecting with those that understand you, that speak your language. And I think that's been it. It's like, I'm so grateful to be surrounding myself with more people that speak my language, because for the longest time on this journey, I didn't have anyone to corroborate my story, how I was feeling, and I was doing this blind. And now I know why. I was doing all of this so I could pull in all of these aspects of self, and all of these aspects and tools and things that I learned along the way, so I can share them all with you. And much more to come with that, everyone. But I'm so here for you. I hear you, I see you. And if you are terrified, there's a part of me that's still terrified too, but I know that we are so safe. I know that we are so supported, and I'm ever grateful for this path. I'm ever grateful for the light. I'm ever grateful to just feel content and happy for the first time in a really long time in my life on this journey. And I think a lot of you, that is what you're seeking too. You are sick and tired of being, sick and tired, and just feeling like you aren't part of something. This world wants us to live very separately from each other, and not always our family is our family for life. We choose our families to be working through karma and all of those things. So come and find your tribe, come and find your family. We are so here for you. And yeah, we are all here with open arms, all of us Light Renegades. But that's all from me today, everyone, and I'll be back very, very soon. Definitely Friday. Take care.